Hi guys, it's me again. As I said in my last video, I'm gonna cover all new Jojolands in One Piece chapters. It turned out that they came out almost at the same time, so I could only choose one, which was Jojolands. So yeah, let's review it. The chapter starts telling us more about the Howler family, that their house is located on the north slope of Hualai in Hawaii, and they have a treasure that was passed down from generation to generation. And this treasure includes things like Tintoretto paintings, who, if you don't know, was an Italian Renaissance painter from the 16th century. Kinda like Da Vinci, I guess. I searched about him, and didn't find anything special about. Araki probably just chose him because he was a renowned Italian painter who wasn't very well known. But by the way, recently was found a painting of him in Argentina. Maybe that's where the idea came from, and I'm just overanalyzing it. It also had jewels, precious metals, and more things related to Italy like Etruscan vases, which, if you don't know, was an ancient civilization that lived in Italy. But they sold it all because they needed money. But due to Latrato, who, if you don't remember, he is the great-great-great-grandfather of Akka, and he was the first one of the family to move to Hawaii. He discovered a water source on the barren volcanic land that his descendants used to create a rich farm. So this guy is basically the reason why the family is very rich. Or maybe not, because in 1967, a wildfire destroyed their farmland and they almost went bankrupt. How did they survive? Well, at that time, a Hawaii state representative wanted to claim the Howler Farm's water source, arguing it was state property and that the descendants of Latrato had nothing to do with it, and more arguments that I don't want to explain. It may sound noble, but he was actually involved with the Hawaiian mafia, and he just wanted it to create a resort hotel. Corruption, bro. Again, more of Araki wanting to show that all rich people are shit in Jojolands, and was actually his gang who set the wildfire on the farm. No proof, of course. And, well, one day he was on a car, and truck in front of him wouldn't let him pass, so he told the driver to overtake him, and when they were glass to glass, bang bang. The truck driver was actually Akka's grandfather, who don't have his name revealed, and at that time, he was the head of the family. He apologizes to the driver, and then finishes the job with a rock. Attention, with a rock. This was certainly on purpose considering the lava rocks. Then it cuts to him and baby Akka. What a cute little boy watching TV. And he tells Akka about the importance of maintaining the land legally documented on paper, and that stuff, but then he says something really interesting. If Akka someday needed money, he could just sell what was in the box, and it would eventually return to it. And he shows the Tintoretto painting, and the other things, that are back in the box. Then Akka starts touching it, and guess what he found? The lava rocks, deteriorated. And his grandfather explains that it was found by Latrato, somewhere in the mountains of the gods, but he don't know exactly where. If you don't know, Hawaii has like 5 sacred mountains, called Mountains of the Gods. So yeah, as it was already expected, the Howler family has a long journey with the lava rocks, with at least 8 generations already. Okay, end of the flashback, back to where we were in the last chapter. It starts with Charming Man disguised as the Dolphin Bank's manager. Good reference, Araki. On a bot, talking with Akka, that is on his ship. He says Jodio and Dragona are his assistants and asks to board. Funny that Akka just that noticed that this guys were like 15 and just let them enter, calling Charming Man and piece of shit. But yeah, he says that one lawyer he hired will join them, and I just can't take it seriously, that her name is Key West. I hope she doesn't look too much like the person she was named after. And his crew will... What the fuck is that Gappy? Or Gappies? Why is there multiple Gappies? What the f— I'll say right away that at least in this chapter there was no explanation about them. They are just literally Gapu clones because why not? But I want to see something from Gappy in Jojolands. I don't like what Araki did with Josuke and Giorno, just pretending they don't exist after their part is over. Then they enter the ship, and there is a fucking carousel there. I mean, if I had money, why not? Key asks what university Dragona go to, and she says Harvard, which is the one that Key goes. By the way, I think I heard this name before. But when Charming Man and Jodio were going down the stairs to discuss business, Akka just points a gun to their head. And when they are in a private room, Charming Man asks if a gun was really necessary, and the Howler just tells them to sit down. So I guess it wasn't at all. Then Akka calls the Gappy clones. I just don't know what to say about them. And these clones bring 20 cases, each with $2 million, in total $40 million. If you don't remember, Akka has a $30 billion loan with the guy Charming Man is disguised bank, and he's basically trying to bribe him, since the bank itself doesn't belong to him, so he wouldn't lose money directly, blah blah blah, go study finance. And he uses the female pronouns with Dragona, the most celebrated thing on JoJo's Twitter. Let's go. I Don K. Then, we got this very cool panel of Jodio monologuing that if they were real bank employees, they would have taken it, but their goal is to take all Akka has. So, Charming Man rejects the offer, using the excuse that Akka runs an illegal munitions factory, and that's a matter of national security. Akka denies it, but then Key West intervenes, saying that these are just rumors, etc. And Akka says he has no proof that he did anything illegal, but by the look on his face. And then Jodio whispers something into Charming's ear, and Charming Man, Sigma mode activated. He basically starts saying that he cannot accept it, that the government will eventually interfere, and that this will be bad for both, blah blah blah. So he offers a deal. Instead of Akka having to pay the 30 billion, he will give the north slope of Hulalai for a random piece of land the bank owns. This piece of land would just be a front for the exchange of 30 billion for the north slope. Because if not, go study finance. If you don't remember, the north slope of Hualalai is where the Howler's house is located, since Latrado 8 generations ago, and his grandpa told him to ensure that the north slope of Hualalai will always belong to the Howler family. So Akka became extremely nervous, and Charming Man kept pressuring, telling him to sign right here, and it's fake, like the contract is fake. All it would do is bring Howler's land into their possession. Kanye West tries to argue back, saying that they don't have the authority to do it, since he is only a general manager of sales. Then Charming Man counters back, claiming that he received the authority from the bank's upper management. Meanwhile, Jodio relieves a notification, it's Usagi, saying that he and Paco just arrived in the school, and are going to the Meryl May's office. If you don't remember, in the last chapter, she sent a help message to them, because she was in danger with that guys Akka hired. Then we go back to the room, Charming Man and Kanye West keep arguing. Akka is about to shit himself, but wait, Akka notices something weird, some strange grains of sand scattered across the table, and cash. Akka immediately recognizes what it is. The lava rocks, obviously. And then we find out that it's the lava rock from Dragona's pendant, but is shattered. If you don't remember, Dragona hided the lava rock they had there, but for some reason it's being attracted to the cache. And the chapter ends with Akka pointing the gun at Dragona and ordering Dragona to stand up. And yeah, that was it. I loved this chapter, dude. Jojolands is going into a way more political and economy way. I mean, all the antagonists presented so far are public officials. That is something that I personally like, but I know many people probably don't. Comparing the complexity of Jojoland's story with the of Stardust Crusaders, it doesn't even seem like the same manga. My only problem with it is that it's very hard to understand what they are talking about. You need to read every page a lot of times to minimally understand what's going on. Even more so when it is so focused on economics. Anyway, I'm loving the lava rocks thing. It's already way more interesting than the Shios Rokakaka. And knowing that it has a directly connection to Akka's family really makes me wonder if he is or not the main villain. I really don't know if he is. His design don't suit very well compared to others. The main villains are usually more serious and calm, and he seems to be someone more desperate, if you understand. I'm not saying he'll be a bad main villain, but he doesn't fit Araki's main villain mold. But I mean, he's already started doing the classic JoJo villain thing of hiring subordinates to chase the protagonists. And Araki probably has a trauma from Toru of only introducing the main villain very late, so maybe he decided to do the opposite, introducing him very early. Without a doubt, the character I'm most curious to see what will happen to him. And Oak, think that was it? I'm currently editing a very long, at least for my channel standard, One Piece video, which should be on the air in some time. Well, thanks for watching. If you don't sub, you're gay.